Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Did you ever blood dope or use blood transfusions to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Shut up, Lex.
Hey guys, this is Faster You Full, brought to you by FitLab, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomax and Capital Cycles. If you're a cyclist and you want to go faster, then let's giddy up.
Don't stand on my dog or I cut your head off. Say hello.
Hey guys, listen up. It's time for money down your pants. That's right. So I've got a limited offer here for you from the bikini-clad women and guys, Biomaxa. That's right. So it's exactly like the Tory Brewery, except it's not beer. This is the best bio grease, bio lubricant, chamois cream, bio wash, bio degreaser you can get, made in New Zealand in Christchurch. You're going to go to biomaxa.com, fill your cart till it's just it's virtually overflowing, and there's stuff just falling out all over the sides with all of these delicious bio-friendly items for your bicycle. You're going to rock up to the counter and you're going to put in the code. Right, here it comes. 10% off the whole lot, 10% off all of the products, and they stick it in boxes and get it to your door for free. Free shipping. So go online. This is for online. You're going to rock up there. You're going to put in the code. The code's Steve Bale Fit Lab. Pretty simple. It's on the screen there. Capital S and capital B. And the Fit Lab bit is all in capitals as well. So you know we're going to do it. Look guys, the thing about the lube is it just does not come off. You've got to do a special process. It's not like a regular lube, but it's insane. Coming up winter, you cannot have a better lube for your chain. It's indestructible. The grease is a great all-round grease, nice bio grease for your components. So you're going to lube up your headset and the bottom bearing and all that for the water in winter. And look, I got to be honest, chamois cream, you're going to stick your hand down your pants, you know, as you do, and slather it right down there with a lovely bit of chamois cream, and you're going to ride so much better. And the kind of the rain and the cold, and you know, you do get to legitimately stick your hand down your pants, and I think that's a win all around. All right, Steve Bale Fit Lab, 10% shipping, products, you know what to do. Here we go. All right, so today I'd like to talk to you about some things you don't want to hear, which, you know, doesn't instantly sound like the best idea for a video blog, I'll admit. You know, normally people like to hear things that validate their own pre-existing beliefs, but I'm probably going to tell you a few today. There's stuff that I've learned over 30 years of riding bikes, and you know, in the last sort of 15 or 20 years of being, you know, taking it a little bit more seriously. And you probably don't want to hear these things, but I'm going to tell you. So if you don't want some of your little thoughts about life challenged in the next 10 minutes, don't listen. Go somewhere else. But if you want to hear something that's hopefully a bit more useful, I'll tell you what I think. So here it comes. Welcome again to Fast You Full, brought to you by FitLab, Capital Cycles, Tailwind Nutrition, Biomaxa. I'll skip the stupid ad. Alright, so what I want to talk to you today is about, basically it's something that's come into my mind in the last sort of couple of weeks, and it's mainly because of the weather. So, okay, so what am I talking about? We're coming into winter, And it's the end of the season for most people. And of course, the weather's getting colder. And there's not so many events. And there's this dawn of horror realization on people's mind, which is, oh shit, I haven't got any events immediately planned. I know it's going to get cold and wet, and I'm going to have to do a different sort of training than what I've been doing in the last wee while. And it's not the sexy time of year. It's not racing a lot. It's not working out at your high intensity. There's a lot of base endurance work to be done, a lot of strength work, and most people don't find that the sexiest stuff to do. So then that affects people, and they have some different ideas about what they want to do with their life at this time of year, which is completely fine. But the thing that I've discovered is you need to have a little bit of a different mindset. I think if you want to get better at cycling and you want to get better race results, okay, so I got asked by a guy this year, like, I had a really good couple of days at the New Zealand Masters Games. And I won the time trial and I won the road race and I was in pretty good form. And I was feeling good about it. And the guy said to me, "What's your secret?" Now, there isn't one. It's completely anathema to something that's as hard as cycling to think that there's a secret. There isn't. There wasn't then, and there isn't now. It's just, and I'm going to say it, hard work. You got to accept that the only way to get the adaptations that happen that you need in cycling, the endurance adaptations that you need, the cardiovascular adaptations that you need, are going to take time. They're going to take build cycle after build cycle, a lot of them, to get really good. It's not very sexy, is it? It's not like, well, I'll do this special kind of interval or this length or that intensity, and it's not very sexy. All of that fits into it, but you've got to do it again and again. And you've got to do it, guys, even when the weather gets cold, and even when you're not racing all the time, and even when you've eaten too many pies, you've got to go and do it. You don't have to, but if you want to get to your potential, you probably do. I know, I told you this wouldn't be sexy. I told you wouldn't be telling you anything your mother didn't tell you 20 years ago. But that's the truth about it. But the people are lazy. And they talk a big game, but they don't really back it up. And they flake out when the time comes to do the hard work. Now, that's probably not really a surprise either. Like, we all know people in our lives that do that. But to some extent, we're all guilty of it. But, it applies to cycling just as much as it does anything else. Don't be lazy. Know what you have to do. So, that's probably not very helpful in itself. But one thing I do is I just sort of like scrunch up a little kernel in my mind. Imagine like you've got this idea of your favorite race or what you want to achieve in the season, some events that are really important to you, how you'd really like them to go. Picture winning it. Picture a motivating scene from a bike race. Anything you like that's exciting for you. Could be Philip Gilbert and pounding it up a short climb in the Ardennes Classics. It could be dirty old Froome dog doing his 120 RPM up Ventoux. Could be dirty old Lance training in the snow. It's the one I like. It's this video called Road to Paris from 2001. Okay, it's dirty old Lance, but he had something going for him, which was not only vast quantities of pharmaceuticals. He genuinely had the motivation to go out, train and invest in the best gear, the best coaches, the best the best gear in every sense. But it takes, it sounds silly, but that actually takes the right mindset in the first place to know what you want to achieve, to figure out how to get there, and get the job done. And he did it, and he went to France in the snow, and he'd ride those climbs. He knew every corner, and he did the damage. And of course, everyone was doping, probably still are. So it was a level playing field in that respect. He outworked them. And the thing I was getting to is you want to scrunch that idea up in your mind about what is the motivating thing for you, like a tiny little kernel of uncooked popcorn, stick it in the back of your mind and grab onto it when you don't want to go training, when it is cold and wet, when you don't have any races to immediately look forward to. You're going to need that. That's my idea of what I do. It's not everything, but it helps a little bit because it will come back around. Like every year I see the same old thing happen, which is this time of year, like I talked about, it's a bit less motivating. Then what's going to happen is in a couple of months, all of the calendars for the club races in the region, all of the other Fondo type races are going to be announced between sort of in spring and summer. People will start to get motivated. And in September, October, November, they're all going to be excited about getting on a plan and working out. And then in summer, there's this sort of daunting realization that they probably haven't done as much endurance work as they needed to do. They haven't done as much strength work as they needed to do. Then they panic, do too much at the wrong time, burn themselves out, and they're flat for their races. And they say, I'm surprised that I'm feeling flat in my races. Well, all the work should have been the months and months before that. And yes, the years and years before that, build cycle after build cycle. So don't complain that you only worked out when it suited you, and then it didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. Well, sorry. Sometimes you're going to have to do it when it doesn't suit you, when you don't want to do it. If you want to get good, you don't have to do jack shit. But if you want to get as good as you can be, you're going to have to do it when it's hard. That's what doing something worthwhile is. And if you're choosing cycling, road racing, or time trialing, you're choosing the hardest sport in the world. There's nothing more cardiovascularly demanding than cycling. So get used to it. Harden up. Get a kernel of motivation in the back of your mind. Make a plan. Decide what you need to invest in. It could be gear. It could be coaching. It could be, power meter. That's a biggie. But decide and do it and get on with it. Don't have this surge of motivation because it got over 20 degrees in December and now you want to train because you're excited because the holidays are coming up. You'll be able to get lots of miles in. Well, that's too little too late. You can do it and it'll help you. But it's not what's going to get you to the next level. So I would say, make it your job. Make it your job. So this year, guys, this time of year, I want you to be doing two things. I want you to be deciding what events and what about cycling is really motivating in your heart. So that what is type of events and goals have you got that are going to get your ass on the turbo trainer when it's cold and wet to smash out a couple of hours in your aerobic zone when you really don't want to, or going to make you go to the gym and do a bunch of leg pressing and squatting when you really don't want to, because a new series is Orange is the New Black has started, whatever the hell people watch. Think about what that is. When the calendars and all the races start coming up in the next couple of months, I want you to really look through them, decide what you want to be is your high priority, what the goals you're going to set after those things, what that means. Does it mean podium? Does it mean winning? Does it mean finishing in the top half? Does it mean finishing at all? All of those are valid. So deciding what's important, deciding what a success looks like for you, and then making the commitment and understanding in your heart what it's going to take to get there. You can talk to me. You can talk to anyone. You don't have to do any of this. But if you want to avoid that feeling that you didn't really get to the level you wanted to, it's what you've got to do. I told you this wasn't sexy. Just make it your job. Like I was listening to a podcast the other day, a guy called Stephen Molyneux, and he was talking about how unemployed people, a lot of the time, don't really make it their job to get a job. So, if you're unemployed and you're looking for work and you've got kids to support, well, make it your job. You start work at 8 o'clock in the morning, you finish work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you take half an hour for lunch, whatever you do, you are making calls, you are writing CVs, you are sending letters, you are doing all that. Make it your job. You don't have to, but if you want a good job, you have to. If you want to be good at cycling, don't come to me in December, say, well, I've got all this leave coming up, I want to be really good in 6 weeks. You can get a lot better in that time. It's true. All I'm saying is plan. And if you have the events and the goals in your heart that are truly motivating for you and you've really thought that through, you're going to do the work. Do the work and do it year after year. There you go, guys. It's a secret. I think that's all it is. Thanks for watching. As always, this is brought to you by FitLab. Capital Cycles Tail Nutrition by Maxa. If you'd like a training plan from me, Steve Bale, you can get in touch. Steve at fitlab.co.nz. You can send an email through the website. You can write it on the side of a cow and get the cow to walk down the street. And it's probably not the most efficient way of doing it, but I'll run with it. Whatever it takes. Let's talk. See you soon. Thanks for watching / listening to Faster You Fall, brought to you by FitLab, Capital Cycles, Tail Nutrition and Biomaxa. If you'd like to get in touch for a coaching program or testing, you can get hold of me, Steve at fitlab.co.nz, or go to fitlab.co.nz. Talk soon, guys.